All right, guys, so welcome back to another episode of the Real Talk Podcast. I'm here with my boy Justo with Sunrun. What's up, my guy? How we doing?
The Real Talk.
The Real Talk Podcast.
I feel like you need one of those little things that go doo-doo-doo.
Oh, I should get one. Or I can do it probably post on the edits.
Yeah, like
So what's up, my guy? How's it
what's
going?
cracking, dude? Hey, appreciate you having me here, man. You got a cool little setup here.
So
I like this.
No, thanks for being here. So what's up, man? What you gonna talk to us about today?
So I'm here.
I hope you know what you're giving away too, because
I'm gonna
crack you for that.
I'm giving hella things away.
All right. Let's see if it's true.
No, for those of you that don't know me, my name's Justo Flores. I'm actually a manager over at Sunrun Solar. So that's kind of what we'll be talking about today. Kind of giving some information in regards to solar. I know there's a lot of
you guys scam people and shit.
There's a lot of things, a lot of speculations and things like that. So I think we're gonna clear some of the air today.
Perfect.
We're gonna kind of like dive into it a little bit and maybe answer some questions that some of your followers might have.
For sure. Now, for the record, for those of you watching that already know me, yes, I also do solar. So most of the questions that I will be directed towards Justo will be for you guys. Obviously I'm going to ask stuff that I already know the answer to.
So if you think Edgar's lying to you, then
so if you guys think I'm lying, you guys got to go to him and he'll help you guys out, right? Now, so we'll go. This is again, you said you're a district manager, right?
Yeah, district manager. Been in solar for about 4.5 years now. Prior to that,
love it.
Yeah, I love it. Prior to that, worked in the oil industry for a couple years. So excited to be here, dude. Thanks for having me
before
on.
we get to teaching the people, teaching the day-to-day person about solar, let's talk some real quick, just really fast about what about someone that wants to start a career in solar.
Let's do it. No, honestly, if you are looking into maybe getting into a career in a sales industry, or you've thought about maybe going to to sell solar or anything like that, definitely reach out to me. If you know Edgar personally, feel free to reach out to him. We can bring you on board. We can, show you around. We can bring you into one of our meetings, sit down with you. Even if you're working right now, even if you have something else going on, but you have like the slightest La
espina.
Yeah, la espinilla that you want to try something different, do it. Trust me.
The thorn.
Yeah. Because I was there. Seriously, I was in that same position where I was just like, hey, I know I want to do something different. I just don't know exactly what. Luckily, this opportunity got presented to me, so now it's being presented to anybody else that'd like to switch it up.
So they don't have to have sales background or nothing like that, right? Just
no sales background, no type of. You don't need any type of educational background or anything like that. As long as you're driven, you're motivated, you're hungry, and you can work really hard. Come talk to me.
I think hustler and motivated is probably the biggest thing they need.
As long as you're eager and you're coachable and you want to learn and you want to add value to your life.
Coachable.
Then,
I like that. I like that word because it applies to anything in life, right?
No, seriously.
If you're coachable in anything, in sales and whatever you want, someone who thinks they know everything knows nothing.
Exactly.
Right? Okay, cool. So you guys heard my boy. If you guys want to start a new career or even just take a look at starting a new career, if you've already thought about it in the past, I've always thought about that, and it goes. What's up?
No, I'm just gonna say I guarantee there's somebody listening to this right now, or somebody that's going to listen to this and they're thinking, man, I'm not in the position where I want to be. I know I can do better.
I've already thought about it before.
Yeah, I've thought about getting into something else. If that is you, then this is the opportunity. Yeah. This is it right here. This is the calling.
It's like the meme that says, if you're looking for a call to drink today,
this is it. This is it. No, but in all seriousness, I was very hesitant at first. Again, like I said, I had never been in a position where I sold anything in my life, and to transition from something that is in a sense a safe job or whatever,
9 to 5 salary, whatever,
to come and do something that's completely out of your comfort zone. It's tough, but I guarantee you it'll be worth it.
Now let's also talk about going solar, right? So what is it that you do? You knock doors and scam people?
Basically. No, man, come on.
Well, I just, obviously that was a joke. But in all reality, what's the number one objection or the number one concern that non-customers have whenever you're trying to, consult them into going solar?
Honestly, like the number one concern for people that are going to go solar is probably going to be them moving and what's going to happen. So I would say like the future. Like they're weary about what's going to happen. So
like,
in the
what
future.
if I get the solar system and 3 years from now I want to sell my house? Is it going to stop me?
What's going to happen then? Like how am I still attached to it?
What's the number one you get? Will you guys just come and take them off?
Yeah, they'll just be like, so what happens if I move? Or somebody's like, well, I don't plan on being here for X amount of years, Like in your line of work, like in your profession, like how often would you say people move?
Oh, first time buyers, average time in their home, I think, is 5 years.
Yeah.
So that's the average time that someone stays in their first home. Obviously, your second home, you're usually... Dude, I tell this too. I was actually telling one of my wife's cousins this yesterday. He's looking into getting a house, and his girlfriend's like, I want it to be perfect. And I was like, yeah, my wife was the same way. Yasmin, if you're watching this, you were. Yeah. I want it to be the perfect home because... Yeah. And then a year later, I hate this, I hate that, I want this. Next house, I want that.
Yeah.
And not that I hate, but you know what I mean? Like, my laundry room has to be bigger.
Yeah.
Our backyard is tiny. Next time, I want the master bath to be bigger. I want a big closet.
The number one conversation is like, on my next house.
Yeah, exactly. And that happens within a year.
Yeah.
I think 6 months. You're like, all right, if we ever buy another house, and that already means you're going to buy another house.
Yeah.
So chances are you're going to move within 5 to 10 years. I want to say sooner than 5 years. I was at my first home for a year and a half.
And honestly, though, like, it's a very valid concern, though. Like, if somebody's presenting you something and it's like, hey, we can warranty this for the next 20, 25 years, well, then, yeah, you're thinking, well... I don't plan on being here 25 years. What's going to happen, within the next 3 years?
Because everyone has the misconception that I'm signing a contract. I'm under contract for 25 years.
Yeah.
And we know that that's not the case, right?
No, that's not the case. It's basically the program that we've developed. What we do is we come in, we design a system that's going to produce 100% of the power that you typically use throughout a calendar year, and the way we do that is by pulling a year's worth of history on your utility bill, so we know exactly how much power you've used. We design a solar system that's going to produce at least 100% of that, if not more, depending on what your needs are. We'll install that system on your house. Once it's generating that power, we'll qualify your home so you can buy it, or whoever lives in that home can buy it at a lower rate than your typical utility company is selling it. So in the case of you putting the house up for sale or leaving it for a tenant or something like that, that bill can then transfer over to whoever's living in the house, whoever's purchasing the house.
Stressless. And
then now you move on, if you move out of state, if you move to another house.
It's no different than transferring PG&E over.
Exactly.
Right? So when you leave your house, so people always say, well, I don't want a 25-year agreement. I'm scared of 25-year contract. This is one of the things that I always say. You not going solar, you have a lifetime agreement with your utility company,
of course.
Right?
Yeah.
So when you move, they don't tell you, well, you're the one that bought this house, so now you're taking this bill with you. It's like, okay, you're moving. Whoever buys it, just call us. We'll transfer the energy statement to them. Well,
it's like the meter, right? The meter that you have on the side of your house. It belongs to your utility company. So when you move, you don't physically grab it and take it. It stays, right? And then the person that comes in, they call the utility company and switch it over to their name.
Yeah.
Well, in a sense, this is kind of the same thing. Once you move, it's fine. The next person can get it transferred over to them.
Guaranteed.
And
right?
then now they're just basically assuming the profit. I mean, not the profit, but they're assuming the
they're actually can't
savings.
Profit, right?
Yeah, but they're assuming the savings now, and then you get to move on, and then whatever other home or whatever property you purchase, then you can assess that. We can assess that house, and then maybe put a system on that one. You know.
Okay. So going on that topic, it was a good leadway to the next subject. Was a true up, right? I said there could be profit because a true up doesn't just work negatively, right?
Yeah.
You can also have a positive true-up to where your system was built bigger. So instead of... well, before we get there, what's a true-up? Like,
so that's probably like the number 2 question that we always get. So every time I sit down with the customer, first thing I do is I ask them, like, hey, what questions do you have? Like, in general, what questions do you have about solar? I know you have an aunt, an uncle, a friend that has gone solar, and they've said something, and you're unsure, and then they'll always ask. So I have an uncle. They have like this huge bill that they get at the end of the year. What is it? And that's the true up. So basically, a true up is when you use more power than what your solar system produced throughout a calendar year, and PG&E bills you for the difference in power.
So to use very simple terms. I know most people don't know what a kilowatt is, but a kilowatt is what you buy your power. Like, that's how it's measured, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like when you
a gallon of gas
yeah.
is a gallon, a liter. So energy is measured in kilowatts. So to make it very simple, an average house uses 10,000 kilowatts a year.
Right.
That's not the number. Don't hold me to it, guys. I'm just using
simple
easy math. So 10,000 kilowatts a year. You build them a system that generates 12,000 a year, right?
Right.
So you're buying 12,000 kilowatts a year. At the end of the year, now that you have solar, you started cranking your AC up a little bit more, because everyone does it, right? They go solar, they're like, okay, I forgot to turn the lights off, but who cares, because I have solar.
Right.
Whatever. So now instead of those 10,000, you're using 11,000, right?
Right.
So you still have that other 1,000, right? So that other 1,000, when you have, I guess you can call it equity.
Yeah.
When you have that 1,000 kilowatt equity, PG&E will buy it from you.
Of course.
Because it's going to them, right?
Yeah.
So now PG&E keeps it. Now that it's not always that pretty, right?
Yeah.
Some people get a system. They use 10,000 kilowatts a year, but for whatever reason, there's many reasons. Their system was designed at 8,000, right?
Exactly. Or
they used 10,000. They were trying to keep their payment low, so they told Justo or anybody, right? Any salesperson, no. I only want 10,000 because that's what we've used. Only give me 10,000. I want my payment to be as low as possible.
Yeah.
Cool. But now they start using 11,000. Well, you chose to make it at 10,000, so now that 1,000 PG&E will bill you for it.
Of course.
So it works in your favor when you build your system adequately.
And the thing is, like, the true-ups, there's a ton of different scenarios. Like, the system could have been designed too small. They could, more often than not, what happens is the people they're not educated properly on it, kind of like how you were explaining it right now. If a lot of people just understand that they have, like, an allowance, a yearly allowance of production, and as long as they stay within that, then they're going to be fine. But a lot of people have the misconception of, like, once they go solar, then they just have like this abundance of power.
Yeah, it's like unlimited.
Yeah, that they can just do whatever, and that's not the case, So I think as long as, like,
you understand what it is,
you as a person understand how it works, then you're going to be fine. Another situation is, like, if somebody, let's just say they buy a house, for instance, and the house already has solar. Well, that's great, but what if that house only had the husband and the wife living there? No kids, no family, nothing. And here comes, me and my family with, 3 kids and, a dog and a cat or whatever, it might be. And now, like, we're just using all this power. Well, that doesn't mean that system that was there on that house is going to be sufficient for my needs, because I might be the person that loves to live in a like a nice, cool environment, as opposed to the other person that wasn't,
So there, what happens there? You just call. They could just call you and be like, "Hey."
Yeah. So, like, in situations like that, like if you moved into a house that already had an existing solar and you're experiencing a true up, it might not be that there's something wrong. It's just that the needs that you have are different from the needs that the previous owner had, or vice versa. Yeah. So we can probably, look at the difference of power, and then we can probably set you up with what we call like an add-on. We can do an addition, where we can look at the difference of power. Let's just say you're using on average 4,000 extra kilowatts, and you're buying those from the utility company. Well, we can come in, we can service the difference of power for you, and we can set you up at a lower rate. Yeah. And again, it's as long as the home qualifies for the program. It's zero out of pocket.
In those scenarios, sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good, dude.
In those scenarios, it's like you already have solar. Like if you're paying a true up, just add more panels. You know,
Yeah.
might as well get enough. You know.
Yeah, I mean, if your home has solar and you're still experiencing the true up, then at that point, yeah,
add some.
You're better off just looking into adding some panels. You know?
So along the conversation along what you were explaining right now, those are two of the biggest concerns, right? Like the true up, like someone's I'm gonna get this big old bill. Well, if you get informed and you talk to your consultant correctly, like because I feel like you should be able to have the liberty to have your AC on all day, to turn lights on all day, to have the heater on in the winter as much as you want. I mean, although that's more gas than anything.
No, 100%. So like when I sit down with somebody, I'll kind of go through, I'll go through the presentation. I'll kind of let them know, hey, this is how much power you're using. But then I always follow up and ask them, hey, how conservative are you with your power? Are you the family that dims the lights, only runs your pool pump at certain times?
I asked that question and usually, no, we're pretty good with it. But all the lights are off and they have all the blinds closed and it's fucking hot in there. I'm
you're just like fanning yourself.
Like, are you with a little booklet? Are you sure? Are you sure you're not conservative?
But yeah, I mean, as long as you're able to ask those questions and you're able to kind of dig in and see what their needs are and their wants. And if for instance, if Edgar's like, hey, I want to use more power, I'm afraid of getting like this big bill, or I'm afraid of like buying it at these like super high rates. Well, then maybe what we can do is build you a bigger system, get you a bigger offset. So now we can set you up with a fixed monthly payment that you're comfortable with and is predictable every month. And then now you have the flexibility to live a more comfortable lifestyle, and you can be more at peace knowing that the bill is going to be the exact same every month. And essentially you're getting more for less, right? Like you're getting much more power than you probably need, but you're paying less than you're already paying. You're paying less you're already paying less than what you've been paying. And that's the thing, it's like solar or like power in general, it's not really like a luxury. It's basically a necessity. Like when you move into a house, like I guarantee the first two things that you do is you connect power and you connect probably water and gas or whatever. So it's like, this is something that you're already buying. If you can look to buy it from an alternative source and buy it at a lower rate, well then why not?
So you're not adding a bill, right? You're not adding a bill to people?
No, it's not like you're adding another bill on top of your utility bill. What you're doing is you're replacing your utility bill with a lower bill through the use of a solar system. Perfect.
Cool. So what would be step one? I mean, what, like someone watching right now, like, oh crap, I didn't know it worked that way. Like, now what do I do?
So let's just say you're just like, you know what? I had no idea that's how it worked. So basically what we would do, you'd give us a call or send us a message or whatever. We take a look at how much power you use throughout a year. All you need to do is basically set up a consultation. We come to your home. We work for direct to home. So if you're off at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock or even 8 o'clock, that's fine. We can come by at whatever time, Saturday, Sunday. It takes about 20 to 30 minutes. We sit down, just kind of go over, how much power your home's been using. And then we design a system based on like how much sunlight your roof gets. That determines, and then that system will determine, at what rate we can qualify you, and then it also let us know like how many panels and how much sunlight your roof gets and things like that.
Perfect, because that's a big part of it, right? The way that a house or a home qualifies for a certain rate is by how much sunlight the roof gets, right?
Yeah. So
I don't want to get too far into it. Yeah. But I mean,
it's pretty simple. Basically, as long as you own a home, or if you own a home, you should at least inform yourself about solar.
Yep. So that's where I was going with that was many people, whatever you think you know about solar, I mean, like we were talking about earlier, some people are really informed now, and it's because of social media, because of TikTok, because of YouTube. So maybe you're getting information from a source that isn't that accurate, or maybe you just kind of think you know what it is, but I'm nervous about going forward with it or whatever. So more than anything, before you decide to not get solar yet, and I say yet because you're gonna have it someday. I don't care
100%.
You're gonna have it. I don't know when, but you're gonna have solar.
Yeah.
If you own a home, you're going to have solar.
It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Exactly. So might as well get it now, where you can get incentives, where you can take advantage of low rates, because something that's really important to understand is inflation, and we can't do anything about it, right? Last year we had 8%, bro. That is fucking ridiculous.
Phenomenal.
It's crazy, right? And so PG&E's, PG&E, SoCal Edison, and all the utility companies are raising the rates or increasing the rates, right?
Yeah.
And inflation,
cost of living, everything.
Exactly. Everything goes up, and then whatever the reason is, rates are increasing. As of now, solar rates haven't increased, right? From what I know,
not significantly.
Okay, so they haven't really increased. So it's going to. I can almost guarantee that it
100%.
is, because the cost of panels is going to go up.
Cost of supply,
exactly,
the cost of
everything, supply and demand.
Yeah,
so 100%, it's going to go up. Take advantage of it today, because you can lock in your rate today when it's still low.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm 99.9% sure solar is always going to be cheaper than utility.
Oh yeah.
But what I'm saying is that it's even lower than it might be in the future. Yep. Does that make sense? So if you could lock in your rate today, take advantage of that. Now, if you're still in that mind where like I was talking to you about earlier, like my neighbor has it, my front neighbor has it, but that guy over there, he don't have it. So until he gets it, I'm not getting it, right? So if you're that person, maybe that person's waiting for you.
Yeah. No,
so what you need to do is just get informed. More than anything, make an informative decision. Don't just be the person that says no, because it happens.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, it doesn't cost anything for me or myself or you to go and provide some information. It's totally free. There's no harm in it. There's no foul. Like we're not gonna twist anybody's arm. Like as long as you can get the proper information and make it like an informative decision on yourself based on actual facts, well then that's what you should be doing as a homeowner.
And I think more than anything, there's two, like for the people that are just like, I might be interested, but I don't want you to come talk to me about it. I think there's two things and two reasons why. Excuse me. There's two reasons why they don't want to initiate contact. Is because, one, they're scared you're going to be pushy, right? They're scared you're going to be there like, come on, why not? Why do you need to? What do you need to wait for? Just do it. Come on, like, dude, it makes sense. Come on, man, just do it. And then a text, come on, dude, are you sure? I just try to, and that's annoying as fuck.
Oh, like, 100%.
Have you ever gone to buy a car and that's how someone is like, dude, I was here to buy it, now I ain't buying shit, I'm out.
Yeah.
And so I get it. So I know that's one of your you're trying to avoid that. At least myself, and I've seen you do your consultations. We don't push.
No.
I'm there. I provide information. And dude, like if you don't want to, it's fine.
Yeah,
but at least I know that you're making an informative decision. Where it's like
it's funny because like usually like the way I see it is like when I go to a home or if I meet with a customer, a client or something, like I don't think of myself as like a salesperson. I think of myself more as like an educator. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna present them and I'm gonna teach them a little bit of like of solar and the different options that they have rather than just the utility company. And it's funny because as soon as I present it and as soon as I give the information, like the customer already made the deciin. The decision's already done.
It was funny. I was talking to one of my wife's cousins. Oh, the same guy I was talking to earlier. I explained the whole solar thing to him and how it works. He doesn't own a home right now, but we were just talking about it, and then he's like, dude, is that really how it works? Is that just your presentation? And I said, no, that's legit how it works. He's like, fuck, I don't even have a house and I want to get solar.
Usually when like the presentation's done, like the number one thing people say is like, crap, like why isn't everybody doing this? And in reality, the reason why is because they haven't given it the time of day. At least reach out to the subject matter expert, If
your car messes up, you're not going to take it to Best Buy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're going to take it to a mechanic.
What is that thing called?
The Geek Squad? The Geek Squad? Yeah, you're not going to call the Geek Squad to come fix your alternator.
But if you need a TV hung up with the surround sound, hit up the Geek Squad.
So if you need solar, hit up Husto.
Yeah. No, and it's true though. It's like at least at least give yourself that where you can, if somebody brings it up, it's like I've already talked to somebody that does this, and I know like I inform myself through a professional that does this for a living, rather than like, oh, I heard through so and so that it doesn't make sense. Because like in all reality, like you might be missing out on like a really good chunk
savings.
a really good chunk of change at the end of the year that you can be putting back in your pocket. You know,
like you said earlier, you pretty much give yourself a pay raise.
Yeah, seriously. You know, because and then that money's already allocated to the utility company.
And we're all local. You mentioned this earlier. Everybody at Sunrun, 99.9% of them live in Bakersfield and Harvard, Vermont. So
well, you had asked this a little earlier because you asked, what's the difference between you guys and local companies, and it's like I always trip out when I hear this question, because I think to myself, I'm like, well, we have 60 to 70 active reps in our office, and I mean, Edgar, about 95% of them are local Bakersfield, Kern County residents. Our operations team, our install teams, our most of the teams that are in our warehouses, things like that, they're all Bakersfield residents. So we are the largest solar provider, and we basically supply the most amount of jobs in that industry within our company. So I'm thinking, like, to me, that's more local than it gets. Like, we're super local. Like, I was born and raised in Kern County. You're born and raised here.
Where I was going with that question was, like, okay, we technically are a local company, right? Sunrun is a local company. So that, let's say Justo, you work with Justo, he lives here. Let's say 5 years from now, you get a true up for whatever reason, you changed it, or not even that. Let's say 5 years from now, your system messes up, right? Mm-hmm. Panels stop working because it's a product like anything else. Some of them can mess up,
Yeah.
Some of them can have defects. But the great part about it is that it has 25-year warranty, right? So anything happens, hey, who stole my system? Just shut off, dude. What's going on? You know what? Let me take a look at it. Hold on. Hey, it turns out this and this happened. We're sending technicians out in a week or in a day or whatever. It'll get taken care of, right? Versus you work with a local company. 10 years from now, what if they're not even around anymore?
Quote unquote local,
quote unquote, someone that was established locally, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
Aside from that, I mean, Sunrun, as you mentioned, it's the largest residential installer in the United States. I mean, who are you guys partnered with?
We're currently partnered with Home Depot. We're currently partnered with Costco, and then our most recent partnership is with Ford.
So, if you not even if you want to, I just feel like you should. You owe it to yourself to get informed about it, right? Just simply, if you own a home, if your parents own a home, if your sister owns a home, and you're watching this, dude, at least get informed, because
it doesn't cost anything.
It doesn't cost anything. All we do is go. You sit down with the homeowner. All right, man. So it turns out, after looking at 12 months of your utility bill or whatever, this is how much power you use. This is how much we'll produce you. This is what you pay now. This is what you'll pay with us. And these are all your warranties.
That's it.
You know what, dude? Get out of here. I hate it. All right.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But it's so simple, but it can also save you so much money. For sure. I've been in situations where I've saved customers half of what they're paying. Like, that's significant. Like, when you're cutting your costs in half.
And aside from that, you avoid your $5,000-$6,000 or $500-$600, or for the bigger houses, $1,000-$2,000.
Or it's predictable. Now, for a person that's in a situation where they might be on a fixed income, and now they have the ability to know exactly what their bill is going to be every month, that's huge.
Yep.
Yep,
for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so, all right. So, to wrap up kind of the episode, if you're looking to start a new career, or even if you're not looking, but you're not really that comfortable where you're at anymore, you're starting to get, your job's starting to get old, even if it's not starting to get old, if you have some type of energy, or if you have that itch inside of you saying, just check out a new avenue, start here. Start with my guy. Hit him up. He'll take care of you. Attend one of the meetings.
Yeah.
Attend two of the meetings. If you're still not convinced, attend the third meeting.
Yeah.
And if at the end of the day you're like, you know what, dude, it's not really for me. Hey, at least you checked it out. At least you checked it out. And in the same topic, of at least getting informed would be going solar.
Yeah.
For all you homeowners, new homeowners, you've been at your house. It doesn't matter if you're thinking of buying a house, whatever the case may be. At the very least, figure out exactly how it works. Be informed on how it works, because there's plenty of ways to go solar. Mm-hmm. We were talking about this. Well, we talk about this a lot. Is none of them is wrong.
Yeah.
No way of going solar is wrong. A lot of people are like, I don't want to just buy power. I want to buy my system.
Great.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Let's help you with that. So just get informed. Figure out what works for you.
That's so true. It's like I come across so many people that have like this biased opinion of which direction or which way they want to go solar, and in reality, like, there's no wrong way to do it. Like, that's why there's options, because everybody is in a different situation. I guarantee you probably are not going to be in your house for 10, 20 years. Maybe not. Probably but not, there's people that do have, an idea of staying there for 10, 20, 30 plus years. One option might be for a purchase or a loan, for them. Somebody
could be retired and say, you know what, dude, I want to buy the system cash.
Exactly.
So that I never have another energy bill. And then when my kid keeps this house, he never has an energy bill. So
I guess, like, don't allow yourself to get, coached by individuals that, chose to do one thing, and now they're basically, telling you that's the direction that you should go. I didn't even get to
finish on that topic. I didn't even get to finish what I said when I said Hispanics are the worst at this. People are going to be like, oh, you freaking racist. No, what I meant was someone always got a better deal than you. That happens in mortgages. It happens in real estate. It happens in solar. It happens in the auto industry. If I buy a car for $35,000 and I tell my friend about it, I bought mine for $32,000. And it's the same car. Who'd you go to? What the hell you got done dirty?
Yeah.
It's always going to happen, and that person probably bought it for $37,000. But that's just how we are, bro.
That's just how
we are. And I took that when I said Mexicans are the worst at this, it's true, bro. Tell me your uncles are...
Never got a bad deal. Never.
No one gets a bad deal besides you.
Never got a bad deal.
And so...
35? And you got crap.
Yeah, no, and they bought it for 36. And it's like, all right. So what I'm getting at with that is that, like, don't be coached on what that person says, and they might be genuinely giving you what they think is best for you, but after looking at the numbers, it might not be what's best for you, right? But without being fully informed, you won't know that. That's
it's like, I always go back to this. It's like they have different options to purchase a vehicle or to get into a vehicle for a reason, because although a lease might make perfect sense to you in whatever position you're in, it might make no sense to me, and I might want to choose the direction of purchasing a vehicle. Heck, somebody might want to just Uber everywhere, So it's all like different to everybody. So it's the same thing when it comes to solar, in my opinion, at least. Like, what makes sense to one doesn't entirely make sense to the other. That's why you want to explore your options, and you want to leave that open, and you want to make an educated decision when it comes 100%. To it.
Okay, cool. So to truly wrap this up,
we've been wrapping up.
No, this is it right here. All right, my guys. So we give away something every episode, and this is your turn to give something away. What's up? What do you think?
All right, so we're gonna give away a couple things.
A couple. You're one-upping Nelson and Jose like that. All right.
Nah, man. Hey, props to Jose and Nelson. They gave away some cool stuff. I don't know if I'll be able to top it, but I am gonna give away. So for the first person that reaches out and wants a consultation, we will offer them I'll offer them a dinner. It'll be at a value of $200. Where should we go?
I mean, should we let them choose, or should we just send it to my favorite spot?
All right, let's choose your favorite spot.
All right, let's send it to Mariscos Las Islitas if you like seafood. Well, I guess if you win and you are allergic to seafood or something, then we can switch it up.
Yeah, we can make an exception.
But other than that, let's get them a gift card or a gift certificate to Mariscos Las Islitas.
Yeah. To dinner at Mariscos Las Islitas. Or again, if you have allergies or something like that, we can pivot. Also, what we're going to do is anybody that reaches out and mentions this podcast or this video, if you post it, we will offer them their first 6 months of energy if they go solar through us. for free. So we will pay them for their first 6 months of solar energy.
Doesn't matter.
So the first
doesn't
6
matter
months,
how high it is.
the first 6 months are on us.
Oh, okay. Let's do it. So you guys heard it from my guy. If you first person to contact and get a consultation gets a free dinner on us. On my guy. And then anybody who mentions this episode of the Real Talk Podcast, it don't matter if it's today, it don't matter if it's in a year, it don't matter if it's in 10 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you mention this video and you reach out to one of us and go solar with us, we'll give you the first 6 months of power for free.
Yep.
Cool.
6 months of savings.
All right, my boy. So, it's actually 25 years of savings.
Yeah.
The 6 months of free power.
Free power.
All right. Thanks for being here, my boy. I really appreciate you being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, man.
All right. Well, see you guys next time.
Later.